A neighbor down the road bought a tractor carrying the most trusted name in the business, stitched right into the seat. He paid full price, without even trying to haggle, because that badge felt like a guarantee. 400 hours later, right in the middle of the hottest stretch of summer, when the ground needed disking, before the second hay cutting, a hydraulic line let go. It was not from abuse. He changed the fluid on schedule and treated that machine better than most people treat their trucks. Yet it still failed early, and the dealer quietly admitted the subframe underneath that famous badge was shared with a bargain brand parked 3 rows over on the same lot, selling for half the price. That story repeats itself across almost every dealer lot and farm store in this country, and most buyers never catch it. The badge on the hood does not build the tractor. Somewhere behind every name is a real factory, a real engine plant, and a real transmission line. That is the thing that actually decides whether a tractor is still working in 15 years or sitting behind the barn with a blown gasket by year 3. Going through owner forums, dealer spec sheets, warranty pages, and real field reports on dozens of compact tractors turns up the same pattern again and again. Several brands that look like total strangers on a sales lot share engines, transmissions, or even full factory lines with rivals charging thousands more. This is not a list of the 10 most expensive tractors, and it is not the 10 most famous names either. These are 10 machines that regular landowners keep walking right past, for reasons that sound sensible standing on a dealer lot. Those reasons fall apart the second the spec sheet gets checked. Somewhere in this lineup is a badge connection that changes how every single other pick on this list should be judged. And the tractor sitting at number 1 flips the entire premise of this list in a way almost nobody sees coming. Starting near the bottom of the countdown is the Solis H Series, a small diesel tractor putting out 20 to 26 horsepower. It is built for someone buying their very first tractor on a small property. Most buyers walk past it because the name sounds unfamiliar, standing next to a Kubota or a John Deere on the same lot, and unfamiliar feels risky when real money is on the line. That unfamiliarity is doing a lot of unfair work here. Solis has real engineering ties to Yanmar, and the brand backs its tractors with a strong warranty, 3 years, bumper to bumper, and 7 years on the powertrain. Owner complaints are limited mostly to small things like an occasional sensor glitch or a minor hydraulic leak, not major failures. The one real catch is dealer coverage. This is a smart buy for anyone with a Solis dealer within a reasonable drive. It gets riskier fast for anyone living somewhere without one nearby, since parts and service depend entirely on that network holding up over the years. Next up is the Case IH Farmall 25A, and this one gets ignored for a completely different reason. Case IH sounds like heavy agricultural equipment, the kind of brand built for a working farm with hundreds of acres, not a homeowner managing 5 or 10. That reputation scares buyers off before they even bother checking the price tag. The Farmall 25. A happens to be the cheapest tractor case IH sells, starting around $21,000. And it comes standard with a 6-year extended warranty. The badge alone ends up talking people out of a perfectly fair deal before they ever walk over to take a closer look. Sitting right next to it on this list is the New Holland Workmaster 35, and this is where the badge story gets genuinely interesting. New Holland and Case YH are not really competitors squaring off for the same customer. They are both owned by the same parent company, CNH Industrial, That means two tractors that look like they are fighting for attention on the same lot are actually corporate siblings wearing different paint. The Workmaster 35 runs a 35 horsepower diesel engine and earns its place here as a solid, no-drama entry point for anyone managing acreage, food plots, or a handful of animals. It does all of that without the price tag that comes attached to a green John Deere hood. That same ownership thread leads straight into the rural King RK37, and this one earns extra time because the myth surrounding it deserves a proper correction. Most buyers assume a tractor sold through a farm supply store instead of a dedicated tractor dealer has to be some kind of knockoff. That assumption is flat out wrong. The RK37 is built by TYM in Korea, running a Yanmar diesel engine rated at 37 horsepower. Buyers who have compared it against John Deere's 1025R point out that a fully cabbed tractor with heat and air conditioning for under $30,000 is simply a strong deal. Some have openly wondered why Deere hasn't matched that spec sheet at a similar price. The dealer network question is still fair to raise, since resale value and service depend on Rural King's footprint rather than a dedicated agricultural dealer network. But the machine itself is not the compromise most buyers assume it is, standing in the aisle next to lawn seed and fence posts. If only one tractor from this entire list gets remembered after the video ends, make it the Kubota L2501. This sits at the bottom of Kubota's L-Series lineup, and that positioning is exactly why it gets skipped over so often. Buyers walk right past it, heading straight for the flashier BX cab models with more chrome, more visible features, and a bigger presence sitting out front of the showroom. What they are missing in that walk is the tractor Kubota's own mechanics quietly buy for themselves. It runs on a simple gear-driven system, nothing flashy, and it has earned a reputation as one of the most reliable tractors in Kubota's entire compact lineup. There is no touchscreen waiting to fail in year 6, and no subscription software buried somewhere in the dashboard. Just a diesel engine and a transmission built by the one brand that every other name on this entire list ends up getting measured against, whether that comparison is fair or not. This is proof that premium and overpriced are not the same thing at all. The badge is fully earned here. And this is still one of the most affordable ways to put a genuine Kubota diesel in the barn without stepping up to a bigger frame. Before moving into the next few picks, a quick word on buying smart from the start matters here. A 20-year compact tractor buying guide walks through sizing a tractor correctly for real acreage and understanding the different transmission types. It also covers matching attachment compatibility before buying instead of after, and avoiding the resale mistakes that quietly drain thousands off a tractor down the road. Link is in the description. Two of the picks coming up next were almost cut from this list entirely, and that call would have been a mistake worth admitting out loud. The Massey Ferguson 1835M and 1840M deserve a second look. Most buyers never bother giving them. Massey Ferguson took some real hits on other parts of its lineup over the years. That reputation problem has quietly dragged down these two mid-tier models by simple association, even though they have almost nothing in common with the models causing the actual complaints. Owners who traded a John Deere 3038E for the 1840M have called it a far superior machine, worth many thousands less money in a direct side-by-side comparison. The real trouble was never these two models specifically. It was buyers lumping an entire brand together instead of judging each individual line on its own record. The Yanmar YT235 earns its spot for a reason that ties directly back into the badge story running through this whole video. Yanmar has quietly supplied engines to John Deere's own utility tractors for years. That means the very engine buyers are paying a premium for under a green hood is available directly from Yanmar under Yanmar's own name. There's no extra markup that comes from putting somebody else's badge on top of it. The YT235 is current production, 34 horsepower, priced fairly for exactly what it delivers, and it skips the middleman entirely by going directly to the source. The Coyote CK2620 earns its spot as what many owners call one of the best values in the entire segment. The confusion around this one comes from Coyote's wider lineup, since the larger DK models climb all the way up into utility tractor horsepower and utility tractor pricing. That makes shoppers assume the whole Coyote brand sits at a higher price point than it actually does, and the CK2620 gets lost somewhere in that assumption. One owner who compared it against other brands put it simply, saying that on a per-dollar basis, looking at warranty, capacity, and service, Coyote made the choice simple. The CK2620 specifically, not the wider Coyote lineup as a whole, is the honest, grounded pick sitting here. It runs a 24.5 horsepower diesel engine built for exactly this kind of small property work. The Branson 3510 and 3520 series deserves real time on this list because the story behind this brand says something bigger about the entire tractor market. Branson is a division of Kukye Machinery out of South Korea, a company that has stayed independent instead of getting swallowed up into a bigger agricultural conglomerate the way so many rival brands eventually do. That independence shows up directly in the machine itself. Owners frequently point to Branson tractors as among the heaviest options for their price and horsepower class. Weight on a tractor is never just a number on a spec sheet. It means real traction and real stability doing loader work on soft or uneven ground. One owner bought a Branson 3510 with a backhoe and loader after getting brushed off by pushy salesmen at both a Kubota lot and a John Deere lot. He called it sturdy and heavy duty for the money, an assessment that held up for years afterward. Fair is fair, though, and the honest caveat belongs here, too. Some owners of older Branson models in colder climates report emission system issues and rough cold starts during freezing weather. So anyone living up north should ask a dealer directly about cold weather prep before signing anything. Still, this is what a company standing behind its own machine actually looks like, instead of a badge slapped onto somebody else's platform and sold at a markup. And that idea of an honest, independent badge sets up the tractor that flips this entire list on its head. It goes back to the tractor Cub Cadet used to sell built entirely by Yanmar. Most people picture Cub Cadet as a mower brand that never touched real tractor territory, riding on a name people already trust from years of buying lawn equipment at the hardware store. The truth runs in the exact opposite direction. For years, Cub Cadet sold a genuine Yanmar-engineered diesel tractor under its own badge, built on the exact same platform Yanmar still sells today. That lasted right up until Yanmar took full control of the line and dropped the Cub Cadet name from it. This closes the loop that opened earlier with the Yanmar YT235, the same engineering that once wore a Cub Cadet badge and that still sits under John Deere's own diesel lineup today, is available right now under Yanmar's own name at a homeowner-friendly price nobody thought to shop for in the first place. That hydraulic line failure, from the very start of this video, was never really about bad luck or one defective part slipping through quality control. It was a subframe shared with a bargain badge nobody thought to compare it against. sold at a premium simply because of the name stamped across the hood. 10 tractors made this list, but underneath those 10 different badges sit only a handful of real manufacturers, priced 10 different ways depending on how much trust that particular badge happens to be selling that season. That is the one rule worth carrying out of this entire video and into the next tractor purchase. Price does not predict how long a tractor lasts, and the badge does not either. Before signing anything at any lot or farm store, the only question worth asking out loud is, who actually built the engine and the transmission, not what the hood happens to say? Which one of these is already sitting in the barn, and how many hours does it have on it? Let us know in the comments below.